Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to talk about movement, and I'm going to let Dr. Ben start us off.
All right, guys, we need to move. We're made to move. God made our body and designed it to be in motion. Sitting's the new smoking, you may have heard. Being too sedentary, that's part of the lifestyle. When we say modern Americans are the sickest in the world now, we used to be the healthiest, but it's our diet and lifestyle that's done it to us. It's not our genes. It's diet and lifestyle that turn on the bad genes, but it's diet and lifestyle that can also turn them off and turn on the good ones. And part of the lifestyle part is sedentary. Of course, stress is the other S, but sedentary, your second S. We sit too much. We sit at work, we sit in the car, we sit during entertainment, video games, movies, whatever. We just sit too much. So most of us traditionally have probably thought about movement as going to the gym and working out. And that's okay. It's better than not doing anything at all. But studies have shown if you sit all day long at work for 8 hours and then you go to the gym at the end of the day and do a 45-minute workout, that does not mitigate all the negative effects of those 8 hours of sitting. So you need to kind of renew your mind and change your thinking about exercise and about working out. A lot of people think about exercise is to burn more calories out than you put in so you can lose weight, and that's not exactly accurate either. So we want to try to get you to think about movement differently. We want you to move throughout the day. Get up every hour or even every 30 minutes, even if it's just stand up and sit down. Get a standing desk that raises up and down, or get a tall table like this and a tall chair. Get up and down throughout the day. Go on a little walk down the hall at your office, to the water cooler, down the stairs. Learn to park further away in the parking lot. Just add a little movement throughout the day. So we need to think about movement with three purposes in mind. Number one, it detoxifies. Number two, it oxygenates. And number three, it hydrates. So we'll take those each real quick. Your lymphatic system, that's a system of blood vessels all throughout, not blood vessels, lymph vessels. So the blood vessels, your arteries and veins, that's a system that has a central pump, your heart. That pump is what moves the fluid around. The lymphatic vessels, it's a whole nother system of highways and byways and roads in your body, these vessels, but there's no pump. And it depends on you moving for that fluid to pump. And what's in those vessels is all the dead germs and toxins and dead cells and stuff that your body's trying to clean up and get rid of is in that lymphatic fluid. So you don't want that to be stagnant. You want that to be in motion, and the only way for it to be in motion is for you to be in motion. That's the up and down and the squat and the twist and turn and stretch, and even simple stretches. You know, yoga is real popular, but any kind of stretch, little mini trampolines, that's called rebounding. That's a great way to move lymphatic fluid around. So we need movement to move lymph fluid. That's detoxification. In the hydration video, we talked about this, that half of hydration is not just eating and drinking your water, but it's moving it, because the fascia that irrigates your cells will irrigate better, more effectively, if you're in motion as opposed to stagnant and sitting. So we need to hydrate better by moving. And then oxygenation. When you're up and moving, especially when you ramp it up a little bit and do a little more intense exercise, you're going to breathe deeper and harder. That's how we oxygenate. When you tend to sit, especially if you're slouched in poor posture, you're not going to do the deep breathing as much. So movement causes you to breathe deeper and better, get more oxygen in. Obviously, we need oxygen to make energy and to help run the detox pathways too. So detox, hydrate, and oxygenate, that's how you need to think about movement. I'm not opposed to getting a little more intense, and there's definitely benefit from having some intensity in there every now and then, but let me tell you, the studies show just these intermittent levels of intensity on your exercise, and I'll give you an example. 30 seconds, go as hard as you can, and that's with whatever you're doing, swimming, walking, riding a bike, doing jumping jacks. Go intense as hard as you can for 30 seconds, and then 60 to 90 seconds, just do a regular cruise control pace. So this could be like walk for 90 seconds and then kind of jog or sprint for 30 seconds. That up and down, mixing it up like that, even just 5 minutes, 7 minutes of that is as beneficial, if not more beneficial, than doing 45 minutes of straight intense, even at a high pace of, say, like aerobics. So that old notion of just going super hard for as long as you can, it's not as beneficial as high intensity interval training is what I just described, 30-90, 30-90. And it doesn't have to be exactly 30 and 90. There's various ways to do HIIT training, high intensity interval training. But mixing a little bit of that in is a great thing to do. And if you're a beginner and you're just a standard American sitting all day, just simply start, like I said earlier, just stand up. Every hour, set your alarm, stand up. That's all you need to do. Get outside a little bit. Go on a tiny little walk. Walking to decrease your stress level. Walking to get sunlight in your eyes to set your circadian clock. Sun on your skin to make your vitamin D go. Sun actually structures the water inside your cell too. So get outside, get in nature, get fresh air and sunshine and green space. It's so beneficial for lots of reasons, but it's also going to have you in motion. So movement can be simple and easy and enjoyable and not stressful. So if going to a gym stresses you out, don't do it. Just get up throughout the day and add these little movements in as you get in better shapes. On the fallacies of the Western thinking of burn more calories out than you put in, and then this perversion of getting this real ultra hardcore, like a marathon runner, doing this real intense exercise for long periods of time. She experienced some of that personally and with some of our patients. She's had some experience with that, so I'll let her talk a little bit about that.
Yes, I have been one to overdo it with exercise in the past. I'll be honest, in the beginning it was mostly to lose weight or to pay penance for something bad that I had eaten. And so I did overdo it and not to my benefit. So when I started working at Veritas, we coincidentally had 2 different patients who were both marathon runners who had kind of crashed and burned. I think they had autoimmune diseases by the time they came to us. And so to me, that was kind of a wake-up call that I needed to slow down. I was doing half marathons, I was doing 100-mile bike rides, and I never felt like it was good enough unless I was just completely spent and good for nothing else the rest of the day. So I had to learn to work out less. Some people sit all day, and some people do too much. So I learned to listen to my body, and if I was tired, to take a day off. I learned to just only do the things that I could enjoy, which for me was to get outside, to be in nature, whether it was a hike or a bike ride or to go kayaking, just to do something outside. I was also getting vitamin D, and this would boost my mood, and I learned to just love everything about it. And a couple of mind games I would play with myself if I didn't call it exercise. I would never say I'm gonna work out or anything like that. I'm just going to do something I enjoy, and I'm going to start slow. I'm just going to walk a little bit. The energy usually would come, and then I would end up doing a lot more than I even planned to. So don't think about it negatively or talk about it negatively. Just start bending, pushing, pulling, lifting, and moving your body. Do things with your family that naturally get you outside, and occasionally just sprint somewhere and make yourself breathe hard, but don't use it as a way to burn calories or to burn off some food that you ate or something like that. Use it as a way to make yourself healthier, to feel better, and just to enjoy your life.
Yeah, and I'll just say from the medical perspective on that ultra endurance like Ironman and marathon and triathlons, stuff like that, the body interprets that as a stress. And some stress, acute stress, can actually be good. It kind of keeps your body tuned up. But you don't want that intense and long-lasting stress, especially repetitive marathons over and over. It's a stressor on the body, not just obviously your joints, but your adrenal glands. That's your stress glands that pump out all the stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. You don't want those things turned on into fight or flight or stress mode too often and for long periods of time. And that's really what these ultra exercise events do. So I know this could be controversial if you are one of those athletes, but the studies are pretty clear on that. And for the vast majority of Americans, that's not an issue. Sedentary is the issue. So these extremes of ultra marathon and sedentary, we need to get in the middle. And like Angie said, make it enjoyable. Kind of exercise has become this, for a lot of us, this kind of thing that has a negative connotation because we don't have time for it, it's no fun, or I don't like the gym, or whatever. Find a way to move that's fun, and like Angie said, with your family and outside is the best way, in my opinion.
And don't let it become your identity. Some people are just all wrapped up in, I'm just a super hardcore CrossFitter and I can never miss a session, even if my child's birthday party is today or anything like that. It's out of balance. So just learn to listen to your body. And
yeah, that's a good point. Really everything we talk about here at Veritas could get perverted into an identity. Oh, I'm keto, I'm paleo, I'm CrossFit, I'm a marathoner, I'm a whatever. And it's not just these things. You could do this with lots of subjects in life, homeschooling or not homeschooling or whatever, sports. I mean, we can get fanatical and extreme in a lot of things, and we take it on as an identity, and we put our self-worth and our value in it, and that really gets us off course. And we see that a lot with the marathoners and sometimes CrossFit and even these dieters, whether it's vegetarian or paleo or whatever. So be careful on that identity thing, and we'll probably talk more about that in a future video, but we see that a lot with movement. So
that and getting addicted to the high of it. It
That's
is
true.
an endorphin producer. You can get addicted to the high that you get from it, and it keeps you from being able to listen to your body. So a little bit of endorphins are good, but
Yes.
just not overdoing it.
Don't pendulum to these extremes. Find that happy medium ground and enjoy movement. Get up every hour, every 30 minutes, and do a little moving to hydrate, oxygenate, and detoxify. And occasionally throw in some high-intensity interval training, HIIT training. So get out there and move, and we will have some movement videos, some more specific examples of how to move. It'll be a series of videos by Emily Edwards and Brooke Wagner, so be looking for those on the site also. Until next time, Dr. Ben and Angie, we'll see you again.